Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated. Game 1 of the Aces Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. It was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was as well.
WNBA players are crying after Caitlin Clark's exit from the playoffs. They believe fans are against them due to not sticking around to watch their playoff games. The recent stats from the semifinals have been revealed, and it is not looking good for the WNBA since Caitlin's exit via BS fouls going against her. The WNBA hasn't been able to cope. WNBA have already halved in viewership since Caitlin Clark's elimination, and it's only going to get worse as the playoffs goes on.
Do you want me to just say I told you so, or are you willing to say, Stephen A., you did tell us? Really? Caitlin Clark is the golden goose?
I mean, what kind of sport does this? Lets their best player get treated terribly all season, don't permit the Fevers to have a game at home in the playoffs, then lets their sport die and decrease in viewers after every single game? WNBA is the only sport where teams advance to a final, and less people get interested after every game. Caitlin is now on her way to Europe, where she is supposedly taking a break, but could also be tempted by a big money move to the EuroLeague.
There could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the Big Three.
I mean, who would blame Caitlin if she made a move? She would earn 10 times the amount she's making right now and would actually get treated correctly. The WNBA even taken her opportunity away of winning unanimous Rookie of the Year. .1 voter somehow voted for Angel Reese. The voter needs to be outed to the world now.
Should have been unanimous.
Should have been. I agree.
Unanimous.
It should have been unanimous. And one of the things that sticks with me is, well, she was the first rookie to get a triple-double.
As for viewers, they are decreasing by the minute, and the WNBA are finally seeing the Caitlin Clark effect in full flow. Players believe fans only want to see Caitlin Clark, and they would be right. Aya Wilson wasn't happy with fans calling her game boring. This year is more the year that I've seen anyone call my game boring than it's ever been. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Aya clearly not happy with the decrease in viewers even after winning the MVP. Aya hasn't had anywhere near the effect of the WNBA than Caitlin Clark.
A'ja Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? Why are we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Why exactly? Why when A'ja was releasing the shoe were we talking about Caitlin Clark?
The magnitude of Caitlin Clark's absence from the WNBA playoffs extends far beyond the raw numbers of viewership. It exposes a deeper issue within the league: the fragility of its audience base and how much it had come to depend on a single player to keep its newfound momentum alive. Caitlin Clark was the lightning rod that drew attention, not just to her own team, but to the league as a whole. When the Indiana Fever lost to the Connecticut Sun and Caitlin Clark's rookie season came to an end, the immediate drop in viewership was staggering, but more than that, it highlighted an uncomfortable truth about the WNBA. Without its biggest star, the league struggles to keep people watching.
For the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did this year.
Viewership dropped by more than half after Clark was knocked out of the playoffs, a clear indication that her presence was driving a large portion of the league's audience. This isn't something that can be ignored or dismissed as a fluke. The WNBA has relied heavily on Caitlin Clark's star power to bring in viewers, and without her, the league has been exposed for its inability to retain that audience.
Ever since, Angel Reese had that injury, to me, and also coming off of Olympic break, Caitlin Clark separated herself. Yeah. She should have been unanimous. Now, to celebrate her, one thing that people forget is as a rookie, she was the most blitzed player in the WNBA, and she still put up 19, 5, and 8 assists.
This sharp decline in viewership is a wake-up call for the WNBA. For years, the league has struggled with low ratings and attendance, but Caitlin Clark's breakout season seemed to offer a glimmer of hope. Her games consistently drew in record numbers, and for a brief moment, it felt like the WNBA had finally turned a corner. But with Clark out of the picture, it's clear that the league's newfound popularity was not as solid as it seemed. Without Caitlin Clark in the playoffs, the WNBA has had a hard time keeping the excitement levels high. Fans who had been tuning in to watch Clark's every move found little reason to stick around once she was gone. The remaining teams may still be competitive, but they lack the kind of star power and charisma that Clark brought to the court. This has led to a noticeable drop in the overall buzz surrounding the playoffs.
There was a Jordan effect on the NBA and the game of basketball. I would argue at one point early on there was a Steph Curry effect on the NBA and on basketball also. You bet your ass there is a Caitlin Clark effect on all of basketball, and especially on women's basketball.
One of the most troubling aspects of Caitlin Clark's exit from the playoffs is the way it happened. Throughout the season, Clark was repeatedly fouled and subjected to physical play that went largely unpunished. The WNBA, for all its praise of Clark's talents, failed to protect her in the way that a player of her caliber deserves. This wasn't just a matter of a few missed calls, it was a consistent pattern of rough play that took its toll on Clark's body and ultimately led to her team's defeat.
We don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world. Something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking.
The series against the Connecticut Sun was a prime example of this. Clark was fouled hard multiple times during the series, yet the referees seemed reluctant to blow the whistle. It was as if the league didn't fully grasp how important it was to protect its star player. Fans watching at home couldn't help but feel frustrated as Clark was knocked around the court, with little intervention from the officials. This failure to protect Clark isn't just a one-off mistake, it's part of a larger issue within the WNBA. For years, the league has struggled with officiating, particularly when it comes to physical play, but when the player at the center of your league's resurgence is being subjected to this kind of treatment, it becomes a much bigger problem. The WNBA cannot afford to let its biggest star be beaten down like this, especially when she is so crucial to the league's success.
Racism has been impacting the WNBA well before this year. This is not a new thing. Sure. This is, in that way, I do think Caitlin's being used as a pawn. Caitlin didn't bring citizens to the WNBA. This has been happening, and that I think is what's been such a shock for all of us.
Caitlin Clark's breakout season was not just a personal triumph, it was a massive opportunity for the WNBA to showcase its potential to a wider audience. Her games were drawing in viewers from all over the country, many of whom had never watched a WNBA game before. This was a moment for the league to capitalize on the buzz surrounding Clark and build a lasting fan base, but by failing to protect her, the WNBA squandered that opportunity. Fans know exactly what happened. They saw how Clark was treated on the court, and many of them have been vocal about their frustration. Social media has been filled with comments from fans who feel that the WNBA let Clark down, allowing her to be fouled repeatedly without proper officiating.
There are very, very few people, but there are some out there who resent the fact that this young white girl came out there and did her thing. Rookie of the year, 4th in the league for MVP voting, assist leader, one of the top leading scorers after the Olympic Games. She put on a show, validating all the attention she was receiving.
This has led to a growing sentiment that the league isn't doing enough to protect its stars, which could have long-term consequences for fan loyalty. The WNBA is now in a precarious position. Caitlin Clark has already done more for the league in one season than many players do in an entire career, but if the league doesn't take action to protect her and other players like her, it risks losing the very stars who are helping to grow the game. This isn't just about winning games, it's about the future of the league.
Number of viewers for WNBA games that Caitlin Clark is not in is like 3 to 4 million. When she's in the game, when it's her game playing, it's like 17 million.
Yeah. Well, I also look at the attendance in the arena.
Yes.
It's 8 to 10,000 everywhere else. Caitlin Clark, 18,000.
As if Caitlin Clark's exit from the playoffs wasn't frustrating enough for fans, another controversy soon followed. Despite her record-breaking season and her undeniable influence on the WNBA's growth, Clark was not awarded unanimous Rookie of the Year honors. This was a shocking snub, considering the impact she had both on the court and in terms of viewership. Clark's performances throughout the season were nothing short of spectacular, and yet, one voter decided to cast their ballot for another player, Angel Reese.
No matter if you are rooting against Caitlin Clark because you like another team, there's very few of them.
I'm excited
even if it's that.
I'm excited to see who it is.
This decision left many fans outraged. How could someone vote for anyone other than Caitlin Clark? She had single-handedly elevated the WNBA's profile and was the driving force behind the league's increased popularity. The fact that she didn't receive unanimous Rookie of the Year honors felt like a slap in the face to both Clark and her supporters. To make matters worse, the WNBA has refused to reveal the identity of the lone voter who chose Reese over Clark, keeping the individual anonymous. This lack of transparency has only fueled more frustration among fans, many of whom feel that the league is not giving Clark the recognition she deserves.
That second half really set the tone for me, for her to be, and should have been, the unanimous Rookie of the Year.
And it wasn't just one triple-double. She had 2 on the season.
And this is why we would love for the WNBA to make voting not anonymous. Because if you were the person that had that one vote, you should just be able to stand on it, and we should know who you...
The snub of Caitlin Clark for unanimous Rookie of the Year honors is more than just a one-time controversy. It could have lasting effects on the way fans perceive the WNBA. Clark had done everything in her power to elevate the league. But when it came time to recognize her achievements, she was denied the unanimous recognition she deserved. This has left a sour taste in the mouths of many fans, who feel that the WNBA is not fully appreciating what Clark has done for the league. The decision to award one vote to Angel Reese rather than Clark has sparked a debate about the integrity of the voting process. Who's the best player in the country to the media or me? As you see it, I feel like I'm the best player in the country. For Caitlin Clark, the Rookie of the Year snub is likely just one more source of motivation. She has already proven that she can dominate the league on the court, and this slight will only add fuel to the fire for her future seasons. But for the WNBA, this controversy has created a problem that won't be easily fixed.
My question is, who did it? Speak loud and clear, raise your hand, all that good stuff.
With Caitlin Clark taking a 200-day break from professional basketball, the WNBA faces one